Championship Sunday, the PAC8 tournament is a reuniting of last year's match. The University of Washington Huskies and the University of California Berkeley Bears, all here on Sunday afternoon. Hello and welcome to Genie Washington and the Recreation Center here on the campus of Eastern Washington University. Jack Jones, Eric List with you to take you through the championship game of the PAC8 tournament. The Huskies and the Bears set to square off in a similar matchup, an identical matchup, you could say, to what happened last year. Huskies look to defend their PAC8 title, and the Bears look to clinch. Jack, good morning to you, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing great. You know, it's a very special day when they activate the mirror ball inside the URC. The mirror ball is going. I feel like I'm back in the 70s. You have no idea what that's like because you weren't alive in the 70s. But it's Super Bowl Sunday. I've got my Seahawks jersey on, and we've got what promises to be an incredible championship game in the PAC8.
Opening ceremonies coming up, but let's quickly talk about yesterday until we get started. The semifinals for both games. First, the 3 o'clock game was USC versus Cal. That went the way, of course, of Cal. That's how they got there with a final score of 6-5. But really, that doesn't tell the entire story, Jack. It was 2-2 through the first period, and then 5-4 Cal, and then 6-5 to end. But man, a back and forth battle between USC and Cal.
USC gave them everything they wanted, and before the tournament, as I was chatting with some of the Bears, they weren't as confident as you would think they would be, having been the regular season champions. They came in with a little shaky feeling. They lost to the USC Trojans a couple of weeks ago, and they struggled down the stretch. And yesterday, obviously Friday night, 14-1 win, they felt pretty good. But yesterday, they didn't exactly blow them out of the water. So we'll see what Bear team shows up.
Well, chatting with head coach Devin Cox of the California Berkeley Bears, he said they knew it was going to be a tight game. They expected that versus USC. It had been tight. As you had mentioned, when they had played the first time, it was tight again. Yes, they went on the flip side for the Huskies. They played Western. That was the 7 o'clock matchup. Man, another good game. But it didn't look that way to start out. Through 2 periods of play, it was 3-0 in favor of the Vikings until the Huskies came alive in that third period for 5 unanswered goals to win 5-3.
Well, I've shouted from the rooftops. I've told this to the coaches of Western Washington. I've told it to the players of Western Washington. I've told it to everybody that would listen. Their problem is depth, and the third period all season long, the Huskies, all 5 times we met with them, the Huskies have won the third period, with the exception of the one game. But you can't live on adrenaline, and they and so the Huskies had a great third period, and that was enough.
Here come the University of California Berkeley Bears on the ice. The Huskies on their bench. Believe we'll be getting starting lineups coming out here too. Going back to that game, as you were talking about, through 2 periods of play, it was really the play of Nolan Morena that kept that game where it was. Huskies had plentiful power play opportunities. They cashed in eventually in the third period, but Nolan Morena was the best penalty killer through 2 periods. He's the one who really kept them in it yesterday.
46 saves is not enough to win a game. That's tough. That is hard. So, yeah, it's disappointing. I saw Nolan today. He had a smile on his face. He's doing great. You know, I'll tell you, the Western Washington game is taking it the right way. They are smiling, having a great time at the hotel, getting ready to go home. They're excited because they're going to get home in time to watch the Super Bowl. I saw Coach Adam Seeger in the garage 30 minutes after the game ended, recruiting players. I saw him recruiting players. They are going to be hard out next year. I'll promise you that.
Huskies roll out their top line. Wolf, Lampman, Irwin with Williams and Morris on defense. And Jonah Nash gets the start between the pipes for the Huskies, who technically would be the visiting team here in this game as a lower seed, but it's 1 versus 2.
Well, true to what I've said a lot of times, if the talent is even, the best goalie wins. And you know, the guys, the top two goalies, according to the coaches, the top two goalies in the PAC8 are Aiden Como and Jonah Nash. Hey, there's my buddy Jack Burbank coming out on the ice.
Forward lines for the Bears will be Burbank, Fung, and Chabaklo. That's the second line. And go with that fourth pair defensive group of O'Dowd and Gobel. And of course, in net, it's going to be Aiden Como. Como's been strong all season long. Of course, he gets the nod tonight. With that, we'll turn our attention to the national anthem. National anthem concludes inside the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center, the home to the PAC8 Championship Tournament. Aiden Como comes into the game in 23 games played with a record of 15-7-0, goals against average of 2.87, and a save percentage of 91.3%. Jack, we talk about Aiden Como's been their go-to guy. He gets the nod here once again tonight. If you're the Huskies, how do you beat him?
Well, you know, you gotta apply pressure. You gotta get some people in front of him. You gotta make sure that he is disturbed, because if he sees a puck, he's gonna stop it. So you've got to get people in front. You got to get rebound goals. You're not gonna take one shot. You're not gonna take a shot from the point and beat him unless there's a lot of bodies in front.
On the flip side, Jonah Nash gets the start for the Huskies. 13 games played, 10-3-0, goals against average of 2.07, a save percentage of 92.4. Players meet at center ice. Puck is dropped, and we're underway for the championship game here of the PAC8 tournament. Huskies flip it in. This is how we'll get going with an icing to start.
Well, let me share the importance of this game for both teams. The latest rankings for the Division II West, the Cal Bears are ranked 17th and the Huskies are ranked below them. So it stands to reason that both of these teams need a win here today to get to the Western Regional. It's possible that Cal could get in without winning, but not likely. So one of these teams is probably going to be done playing hockey for the year after today. That is added importance to this game.
Picked up by Chris Williams, who throws a long shot to Como. He deflects it into the corner. First shot on goal recorded of the morning. Kept in at the point. Maloney, his shot. Save made by Como. Goes in the corner. Juniome fights with it. Chabaklo pushes it ahead. And Lucas Fung clears it down.
Icing with 19:12 to go. And the faceoff to the right of Aiden Como. And the Huskies are applying the early pressure with 2 shots on goal already.
Maloney on the draw versus Fung. We'll reset. Tie up. Goes into the corner. Maloney pitches up to the point. Musgrave. Duncan Needham throws it down. To Yang, who keeps it in the zone. Flips it to the corner. The Bears try to break it out. And it comes into the neutral zone. Konopka throws it right to Junio. Eom at the blue line. Goes cross ice. Looking for Maloney. He can't handle the pass. That's going to allow the Bears to take it back the other way. Or attempt to in transition. Eom stops in the penalty box. Fights for it. Now Maloney picks it up. Maloney works 1-on-2. Maloney with his shot. Goes wide. Hits the glass. Picked up by Konopka. Goes back to Maloney. Konopka chips it back in. Gobel throws it forward. Kodai Mizuno throws it behind the net of Jonah Nash. Huskies will set things up with Duncan Needham. Needham off the boards, but not out. Lee holds the zone for a moment, but here it comes out. Konopka once more to Needham. High flip. Glove down by Dominic Sedlak Browdy. Goes back to Konopka. Bears hold it in. Konopka down low. Dolan kept it back in. Goes all the way around to the far side corner. We'll lose there. Dolan. Thought about it. Goes back down low. Too hot to handle from Mizuno. He picks it back up. Goes cross ice. Walks the line. Comes to Lou. Who drives down low. However, a turnover created by the Huskies. And Ferguson chips it off the glass and down.
Well, the Cal Bears have had a lot of zone time, but the Huskies have done a great job of keeping them in what I call the horseshoe. The area along the boards, outside the face-off dots and behind the goal, which are really non-scoring areas. So they really haven't had much time in what's called the scoring zone. They've kept them in the horseshoe, and that's a great plan for the defense.
Patterson picks it up. He had the game-tying goal last night to make it 3-3 on his shot from the point. Jack, you talk about it, keeping it to the horseshoe, keeping the outside. Why is that important defensively?
Well, because quite simply, there's not a lot of players that can score from the wall there, and almost nobody can score from behind the goal line. So if you're back there where Duncan Needham is right now, well, the puck is pretty safe.
Here comes Duncan Needham, flips it up, looking for Patterson just out of his reach. Patterson in on it. Bears flip it back the other way. Storr. He's running to the boards. Picked up by Konopka. Drops for Cam Britt. Britt to Smith. Back up to the point. Tarunya with a shot goes wide. Jonah Nash makes the save. And another shot goes just wide again.
Nash got away with one there.
Goes back to the corner. Liam Collins, his wrist shot goes wide. And Jonah Nash makes the save on a tough angle shot.
That's what Jonah Nash is great at. He can get unsettled, but he can settle down real quickly. He lost his edge. He went down, and the goal was open. His defense had to bail him out on one. But 5 seconds later, a shot comes in, and he was very calm.
Mizuno and Lampman on the draw. 16-12 to go here in the opening period of the PAC8 championship game. High flipped out, glove down by Cal. Morris kicked it ahead for a moment before it's going to come back. Chris Williams picks it up. Williams is looking for Irwin, intercepted. The Huskies able to recollect and take it back the other way. Stretch pass, Lampman, he touches it into the zone. Goes off the glass behind the net of Como. And break it out into the Bears. Far side. Mizuno works in. Shot save made Jonah Nash.
Kicked aside, and Darren Morris is right there for the rebound. But his option was to send it down and ice the puck. A lot of pressure by the Bears right now, although they've only had one shot on goal because, again, the Huskies are keeping them in the horseshoe in the non-scoring areas in their defensive end.
Kodai Mizuno with the lone shot on goal for the Bears. Drives in from the point, does Lee. Lee walks the circle, centering try, and just fanned on it was Fung. Lucas Fung had a beautiful opportunity right in front. Lampman the other way. He tries to find Cam Irwin just out of his reach. Instead, going to be picked up by Chabaklo. Drop back, Dolim. His pass almost intercepted by Chris Williams. Darren Morris is there to get it ahead instead.
Nice
down the far side comes Yang.
Nice defensive play by Dolim because Irwin almost had a chance on net.
Chabaklo chips it in. Nash stops it calmly, sets it up for Williams. Goes over to Yang. It'll chip out Yang again. Down the half wall, kept in. Konopka now. Konopka using speed. Chips it in once he gets past the red line. Going to go to work and try to pick it back up. Konopka in the corner. Lucas Fung comes away with it for a moment and gets it over Mantuani. Mantuani moves it forward. Cross ice. Pass intercepted. Juni Yom enters it. Yom from the right circle. And it doesn't get a lot of mustard on that shot. Mizuno now the far side. A rush back the other way. Left off for Browdy. Throws it into the corner. Was looking for Patrick Liu. Picked up again by Browdy. Sedlak Browdy to the point. Mizuno. His shot blocked by Musgrave. Mizuno picks it right back up and chips it in.
The Bears are now starting to get in the scoring zone out of the horseshoe. So the Huskies got to pick it up defensively.
O'Dowd collects a play to make a hit. Or makes a play collecting a hit. A shot from Sedlak Browdy, and Nash makes the save.
Well, the tables have turned. The first couple of minutes, the Huskies had a lot of pressure, but since then, it's almost all Bears.
Well, we saw it yesterday when Cal played USC. They went down a couple times in that game. However, they rebounded back. So far this morning, Cal has come out with energy. So have the Huskies. Right now, the most offensive zone time has been in favor of the Bears. Here comes Sloan. He chips it in. Hits the referee. It's picked up by Gobel, who moves it forward. To Fazio. Down the left side. Uplifts Heiser. And puck comes out of the zone. Dolan. Ahead. To Baker, who throws it in. Nash stops it off the boards behind him. Fazio in the corner. Fazio to the top. Dolan a shot through traffic, and they score. Cal takes the early 1-0 lead.
They have applied pressure. The first 3 minutes were Huskies, but since then, it's been Bears.
Sean Dolan gets scoring started.
We've got the Huskies have Lampman, Wolf, and Irwin out with 8 and 9. Williams and Morris on defense. They're arguably their top 5, and they need to get some momentum back with these guys out.
Williams moves it ahead for Irwin, who couldn't hand the initial pass but gets it back. Now it's going to go down. Dominic Wolf gives chase. Going to fight with Como, who comes out of his net to play it. Como trap behind. Now he gets back in net. Goes to Williams at the point. Right side, Chris Williams. His shot deflects down. Dominic Wolf tries to send a backhander. Fans on it. Cam Irwin back to Williams. Williams, his shot goes wide. To Morris, far side. Backhands it down low. Lampman's there, so's Taruya. Huskies trying to keep it in, trying to mount pressure back. Left off for Dominic Wolf, centering try. Won't reach the net. Back up to the point. Darren Morris hits try through traffic. Gets there, but deflects wide last minute. Might have caught a piece of Como. Reyna takes it back the other way. Pressured by Irwin. He creates a turnover. This gives it to Logan Maloney. Maloney working at the circle right side. Maloney works in. Wrist shot goes high and wide. Juni Ohm picks it up on the half wall, where he loses it. Back to Maloney. Maloney down low. Yang. Up top for Konopka. Konopka, his wrist shot through traffic, goes into the corner. Picked up by Chris Williams. Gets it over to Juniome. Eom works back behind the net. Como wraparound try. No one there. Still loose. Eom with a second chance opportunity. They come in down low. Another wraparound try. Centering, no one home. Derek Yang. Konopka shot. Goes wide as well. Huskies buzzing after giving up a goal. Up to Chris Williams. He's got Konopka. Williams takes himself through traffic. Rebound. Still there. Maloney can't control. Second chance and they score. Or a 1-1. Huskies fight for it and they come away with it. Juniome leans the handshake line.
I got to tell you, a brilliant piece of coaching by Matt Cleaton and his staff. Cal scores a goal. He puts his best 5 out there. They get momentum, hand it to the second line, and they score. That was incredible.
Eom from Maloney and Chris Williams the goal. And just like that, we're tied back up at 1-1. Sloan chips it into the corner where Lee gives chase. Drops it off for Fung. Sedlak Browdy chips it up and ahead. Here comes Burbank. Burbank down the left side. Looking at Jonah Nash, just wraps it around instead. Burbank still with it. Konopka pressures. Dolim, he's got the goal for Cal, throws it back down low. Burbank in the corner, tries to go up top. He loses it to Konopka. Konopka pushes it ahead for Sloan, and Sloan chips it out. Cal will have to regroup. Fung gives chase. Fung to Dolan. Dolan up ahead and chipped in by Sedlak Browdy to avoid the icing. Centering try. Jonah Nash makes the save on Fazio, who was right there in the slot. Cal gets it back, but Duncan Needham tries to clear. His attempts, no good. Centering try just out of the reach of a Bear. Storr couldn't hold and goes the length of the ice where Ben Lampman picks it up in the corner. Lampman stops. Still fights with it, gets it to Irwin. Irwin to Mosgrave. Mosgrave walks the blue line, shot through traffic, and they score! It gets deflected in front, and the Huskies take a 2-1 lead.
Bodies in front. Rebounds and bodies in front. Looks like Dominic Wolf should get control. Even though Lampman led the line, I believe we're going to see that Dominic Wolf deflected the puck into the net.
So Dominic Wolf indeed with the deflection off the shot from the point, and the Huskies rally back here quickly. 9:37 to go in the first period.
So the first goal for Cal, 88 from 93. That's Dolan from Fazio. And officially, the first goal for the Huskies, Eom from Maloney and Chris Williams. And I was about to point out that Williams didn't get off on a change, and he was out there for a long time.
Here comes Cal back the other way. They try to work it in, chipped by Lou into the corner. Well,
I think they got it wrong. They gave it to Lampman from 5 and 11. So from Mosgrave and
which should be the Mosgrave from the point. Lampman
right.
tipped it in.
Right. Oh, Mosgrave from okay. I thought okay. And the secondary assist was number 11, Cam Irwin.
Yeah, Mosgrave took the shot from the right point and gets deflected.
All right. Well, then they did get it right. I was wrong.
All good.
You're not going to hear me say that very often.
We talked about it. This is not an unfamiliar territory for Cal. They had to battle back from deficits yesterday against USC before they eventually came back to win 6-5. Cal knows how to rally back. Lee in the corner. Moves it ahead just out of the reach of Reyna, and Williams throws in a long shot, glove down by Como.
That was pretty close from almost center ice.
Sloan centers, no one home. He had Ferguson in the realm. However, both the Husky players were tied up. 8:05 to go in the first period. Huskies lead the Bears 2-1.
Well, the Huskies have done what they needed to do. They were on the back foot for quite a while, and then the Bears scored and they pushed back. So this is going to be a good game the whole entire time.
The entire tournament has been fun. It's been really good games all 3 days, and fitting it caps off with a championship battle rematch of last year. Huskies looking to defend, Cal looking to secure a championship. Goes up to the point where Duncan Needham holds. Needham, his shot from the point, deflects wide, picked up by Cam Irwin. Irwin, back to Needham. Needham, another shot, and it's saw all the way by Consolo. He makes the save. Or excuse me, Como.
I was about to say, Consolo better not have stopped it. Consolo better not have stopped it.
To the right of Como, Huskies lose the draw back into the corner. Cam Irwin, nice job to get back down there. Leaves it off for Dominic Wolf. Wolf to Musgrave at the point. Musgrave to Lampman. Lampman chips it back down low. Cam Irwin collects. And out it comes. Back the other way. Burbank sends it in. David Patterson in the corner, fights with it, comes loose. Cross ice, looking for Chabaklo. It didn't get there. Pass is deflected.
Nice defensive play by Cam Irwin. You don't hear that very often. Not that he doesn't play defense.
Cam Irwin has his stick go flying. There's a broken stick on the ice of a Bear, and it looks like the Huskies will get the first power play of the morning.
Tarunia, his stick broke, so he grabbed Cam Irwin's stick and threw it, and gets to go to the penalty box because of it.
Huskies had plentiful opportunities on the power play. However, it took him to the third period to cash in, and they cashed in twice with Ferguson and Cam Irwin. Those goals made it 3-1 and then 3-2 before David Patterson tied it up 5-on-5 with a shot from the point. First look for the Huskies power play of the morning. First look for the penalty kill of the Bears. To Lampman at the point. Lampman walks in, goes back to Wolf. Wolf, his shot through traffic, deflects wide from Como. Reyna takes in his shot on Jonah Nash, doesn't reach. Dominic Wolf gets in the way. Irwin circles around, stops. Minute 35 to go in the power play. Huskies to break it out. Here's Wolf. Wolf across the blue line. Left side, Wolf works in, stops, goes up to the point. Lampman gives it back. Wolf, his shot through traffic. Save made by Como. A little pushing and shoving in front of the net. Como stands tall.
Logan Maloney almost had a street beating. He came awfully close to Como, and about 3 Bears pounced on him.
Minute 17 to go in the minor to Taruya. Bears come away with a draw. However, they can't clear it out, and then they do. High shot from Collins goes into the netting. It was deflected.
Hey, there's a souvenir for a Husky fan.
So with 67 seconds to go, there'll be an offensive zone draw for the Bears as they work to kill this penalty off. Fung will take the draw.
Very nice pucks this year. I was able to retain one for my wife, Tracy. Maybe I'll send one to Aunt Vic. And Eric got one as well. They have, this is the 30th year of the PAC8. So it has 30 on one side and the 8 member organizations on the other.
Morris, his shot will come all the way back down after Como makes the save. Cam Britt picks it up in the corner. Goes to Williams. Williams stops and slows things down with 35 seconds to go in the power play for the Huskies. Derek Yang chips it in. Como sets it up. And Dolan rims it around. Morris picks it up on the right wall. Goes to Williams. Back to Morris. They play catch. Morris works down low. Back up top for Williams. Nice job holding the zone. Far side. Yang spins with it. At the circles. Goes down low. 13 seconds to go in the power play. To Morris. Morris, a wrist shot save made by Como. Cam Brown, second chance opportunity, and it fires wide.
He had open net. Como was still trying to recover from the first save.
Power play time expires. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Jonah Nash makes a save from Lucas Fung. His shot from the circles. Bears kill off the penalty and go right back to work in the offensive zone for a moment before it gets chipped right back out. Here comes Lou. Lou works it in on the left side. Stop, centering try. Looking for Fazio, but it gets caught up in skates. Here comes Dominic Wolf back the other way. Wolf, he's got Lampman. He'll use it. Lampman drag shot, and a save made by Como.
The last 12 shots have been taken by the Huskies. They jumped out to an early lead in the shot column, but then the Bears got the next 4 shots. It was 4-3. Now it's 15-4. So the last 12 shots are by the Huskies.
Lou on the half wall moves it ahead to Fazio. Fazio gives it off for Storr. Storr back to Fazio, back to Storr. Looking cross ice for O'Dowd, but it comes back the other way. Here comes Lampman. Lampman stops. Looks back for help, goes over to Konopka. Konopka, right circle, his shot through traffic. Como makes the save, but a rebound falls loose. However, Como falls on top of it.
Duncan Needham in there battling for the rebound, but he couldn't get his stick on it.
4 minutes to go in the first period. Huskies with a 2-1 lead over Cal. The Dogs looking to defend their PAC8 title. The Bears looking to play spoiler. They've been the top of the PAC8. Here down the stretch, they're looking to retain that. When the two teams met in Seattle, both games went the way of Cal. The old adage does ring true, though. It is hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, or it can be. Nash comes out of his net to play it. Stopped in the corner, Maloney. He's got Konopka to his right. He'll move it off to Konopka. Head for Eom, who touches it, and they'll chip and chase. Yang on the half wall. Eom there as well. Comes to Konopka, who chips it back in. Hits Logan Maloney and comes out. Maloney throws it back in. Huskies have to get back on sides. They do. Here it comes back the other way. Mizuno, backhand try, saved by Jonah Nash. 3:07 to go in the first period.
Well, you mentioned it. When the Bears came to Seattle, they won the first game 6-2. The second game 3-1. Jonah Nash was in net for the second game, only allowed 2 goals. The Bears got a late empty net goal. But Como played both games for the Bears, so if the Huskies have any advantage, it's the fact that they've seen Como both times, and the Bears have only seen Jonah Nash just the once.
Dolan throws it far side. His pass intercepted by Heiser. Heiser spins back for Musgrave. Back to Heiser. And it goes down low. 2:45 to go in the first period. Heiser had the lone goal for the Huskies in the 3-1 loss in Game 2. That came shorthanded in the second period. That goal at the time tied it to make it 1-1 for 2 unanswered goals, one being shorthanded, or one being empty net from the Bears in the third period, makes it 3-1. Anthony Andres tips it in, goes to grab a change. Danny Musgrave goes down, will fight with Gobel in the corner. The Bears come away with it. Sedlak Browdy try to move it up. He can't. Goes back to Dolan. Cross ice. Pass Looking for Sedlak Rowdy. He'll intercept after it hits a skate. However, Musgrave regroups with 2 minutes to go in the first period. Off the boards to Cam Irwin. He'll take it down the left side, drops it back for Ben Lampman. Lampman tries to drive in, makes contact, goes down to Cam Irwin. Irwin with a power play goal last night. That made it 3-2. Nash comes out of his net to play it. Moves it ahead for Wolf, who backhands it into the zone. Logan Maloney gives chase. Pontaruya in the corner, centering try, and Wolf pushes it just wide and high over the net. A beautiful look for Dominic Wolf.
He had Como going the wrong way as well. He had room. Both of these goalies are listed as sophomores. Como for Cal and Nash for the Huskies. They are sophomores, and Como is from Newport Beach, California. Nash is a local product from Bellevue, Washington.
Maloney thrown out of the faceoff dot. He taps Juniome to go take his spot. Tie up off the draw. Goes to Yang, who gets it to Morris. Morris throws it back to Yang in the corner. Yang spins away from trouble from O'Dowd. Rims it back around. Far side to the point. And a shot and a save made. Chris Williams looking for the point, but Como stops it.
Other than that 3 or 4 minute period where the Cal Bears dominated the play, shots are 18-5 right now. The Huskies, it was a wake-up call.
Another shot from the point goes wide. This from Musgrave. He had the assist on the second goal from Ben Lampman. It was his shot from the point that Lampman deflected in. 55 seconds to go here in the opening period. Yang drops to Williams. Williams, his shot. It's the glove of Como, but stays out. A rebound try from Maloney, and Como makes the save. While talking with head coach Devin Cox, he said, high energy momentum today. These two teams have played a lot in the past years. They got to dictate the pace. Cal dictated the pace early, but they've gotten away from it here late. The Huskies have flipped the script on them.
The Huskies are playing better than they played all year long the last 13 minutes.
Matt Clinton said they just have to play the game the right way. Tied up on the draw, Morris comes in. Backhanded out by Baker. He attempts to. It finally does. Baker ahead to Mizuno. Mizuno leads the charge. However, tried to center. No good. It comes back out. Lee chips it in. Bears had to get back on sides. Now collects in the corner for Reyna. Reyna to Mizuno. Back to Reyna. Reyna loses it. Morris moves it ahead. Cross ice. Chris Williams sticks it down. Here comes Ferguson. Ferguson tried to go between the legs. Didn't make the move. Comes back out. Konopka rims it back around with 7 seconds to go in the first period. Stopped by Lee. Moves ahead to O'Dowd. O'Dowd will slow. For Mizuno. And that's how we'll end the first period. Cal strikes first, but the Huskies come back with 2 unanswered from Yome and Lampman to make it 2-1 through the first 20. Jack, an exciting game we're being treated to.
Man, I can't wait for the next period. Why do they have to cut the ice? Why have we got to wait? A lot of hockey still left to play.
Plenty of hockey to play. Don't go anywhere. We're back with second period action in the Pac-12 Championship in Washington in just a few moments. We're back for second period action inside the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center. Teams just re-entering the ice. Huskies with a 2-1 lead over the Bears heading into the second period. Jack, it started all California. They got a goal coming from Dolan. However, the Huskies flipped the script with 2 unanswered from Yom and Ben Lampman. What are your takeaways for the first 20?
You know, it really looked like a wake-up call. The Huskies looked like, oh, no, we're in a hockey game. And again, Matt Clayton putting his best 5 out there to regain momentum really worked. So they're getting bodies in front of Como, and they're keeping the Bears out in the horseshoe, not letting them get too close to Jonah Nash. And these teams are playing for their playoff lives. So we'll see what happens.
Just moments away from the draw to start the second period. And we're underway for the championship game here in the PAC8 tournament. Second period. Here comes Cal Chabaklo with a rush. He stands up a hit and works it in the corner. Chris Williams gets knocked down. He gets right back up. Irwin backhands it out to Dominic Wolf. High flips it in. Ben Lampman gives chase in the corner with Dolan. And Dolan, the lone goal scorer for the Bears. Burbank flips it ahead. Here comes Fung. Fung trying to break away. He'll take it behind the net of Jonah Nash, where it gets lost in the skates.
What a play from Darren Morris, giving up the body.
Wolf high flips it out. Burbank bounces with it, battles with Irwin. We'll get a whistle, offsides. Cal coming out with intensity here to start this second period. They're just 45 seconds in.
While we've got a moment, I want to say hi to the Beckettses in San Jose, the Walkers in San Jose, and the Pavelskis in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. DW says hi. That is the dad of Chris Williams.
Yang in the corner, backhands it around, hits the cage of Derek Yang, and it comes out of the zone. Mantuani chips it in. However, Lou sends it right back. Comes out again. Yang throws it in. Como comes out of his net to play it, rims back around. Yom in the corner. Maloney there as well. They fight with it. Comes away to Maloney. Maloney works with it up to the point. Konopka. Konopka back down low. Yang spins away, right circle. Yang walks in. Como makes the save, and Cal clears it out. Needham back to the point. Needham a shot. Tipped by Yang right into the belly of Como.
Early pressure by the Huskies. They got to keep pressure on, because if they let up, the Bears will take, it won't take long for the Bears to pounce.
Second period was a big period for the Bears yesterday. They scored 3 goals in that period, 2 back-to-back, and then a third after USC scored 1. Heiser, his shot from the point goes high and wide. We talked about it. Cal had to rally yesterday. They're looking to do the same here. Huskies in the offensive zone, looking to add on to their lead. Fazio chips it ahead, and it gets out. O'Dowd to Collins. Turnover, slow knockdown. Heiser has it. Chips it up to Sloan. Sloan backhands it in. Ferguson goes to work against Fazio into the corner. Gobel in the corner. Gobel tries to skate with instead. O'Dowd will pick it up. O'Dowd's knocked down. Behind the net one more time. Bears high flip this one out. Heiser gives chase. Get a whistle. Offensive zone draw for the Huskies. 17:24 to go here in the second period. Tied up on the draw. Comes away to O'Dowd. O'Dowd left off for Gobel. Gobel moves it ahead and is backhanded out by Storr. Cal protesting the race for icing. They'll get the call for icing. However, Cal feeling like they got there. It was Liam Collins on the rush against Chris Williams. Lampman on the draw for the Huskies. Won by the Bears. Back to Gobel. Gobel and Wolf and Irwin. Irwin to Wolf. Wolf and Gobel battle with it. So Irwin picks it up. Irwin tries to throw it down. He can't. Gobel's there. Gets flipped out by the Bears. Collins pressuring Williams. Collins gets into the corner. Wolf, they get it out. They get a whistle.
There's a high sticking call on somebody.
Chris Williams locks 2 for high sticking. Cal will get their first opportunity on the power play of the championship game. Huskies unable to convert on their power play opportunity earlier. We'll see what Cal can do here, trailing by a goal. Face off in their offensive zone. Cal wins it back up to the point. To Lou. Lou throws it in down low. Sedlak Browdy comes in to help the corner battle. 3 Bears, 2 Huskies. They get it out. Lou sent it back down low. Turning. Fazio. Shot goes wide. Picked up by Mizuno, who throws it back around. And Huskies can't get it clear. Mizuno jumps to glove it down. He keeps it up to the point where it gets thrown back down low. Musgrave off the glass, but not out. Picked back up by Lou. Lou, right circle. Drops. Leaves it off for Fung. Fung goes up top for Fazio. Fazio goes across. Down low for Mizuno. Bears trying to set things up. Fung spins away with it. To Fazio on the half wall. Fazio walks in. Shot save made. Jonah Nash. Rebound still loose. And he makes the second save as well. Fazio was driving the crease. And Jonah Nash falls on it. 59 seconds to go in the power play for the Bears.
Sometimes less is more. A Husky at the line trying to make a play kept the puck in the zone for the Cal Bears. Sometimes just get out of the way and let the puck go down the ice.
Majority of this power play time has been spent in the offensive zone for the Bears. They'll win the draw. Goes back up to the point. O'Dowd stick handles with it. O'Dowd, that was Mizuno. Mizuno drops it back down low. Fanning on the shot. Picks back up. Sedlak Browdy. Browdy walks in down low. Drop pass over Mizuno. Mizuno gives it back. Mizuno gets it back. Mizuno right circle. They play catch with Fazio. Fazio wrist shot right into the belly of Jonah Nash.
Calm, cool. Jonah Nash looks like that he had that one all the way.
37 seconds to go in the power play for the Bears.
15:22 go in the second period.
Storr will take the draw. He's got Lee behind him to his right. Tied up off the draw. Huskies finally get a clear. Como stops it behind his own net where Jason Lee will set things up. Lee starts the breakout. Goes over to Storr and gets it in. Lee going to go right back to work behind the net of Nash. Throws it around for Chabaklo. Huskies get the clear again. Here comes Lampman on a breakaway. Lampman works in circle. Stops, looks back for help. Working shorthanded down to 5 seconds on the power play.
What a great decision just to hold on to the puck and not let it go down the other way.
Back to 5-on-5 action we go. Burbank in the corner. Goes cross ice. That's intercepted. Huskies get it ahead to Wolf. Wolf stops. He loses the puck. Picks it right back up. Gets over to Lampman. Lampman, a wrist shot. Blocked in front by Burbank. Sacrificing the body. And now chipped out. Konopka will have to regroup. So both teams unsuccessful on the special teams so far with an extra man. Maloney gloves it down. Works in. Second chance picked up by Cam Irwin. Centering try looking for Wolf. Goes far side. Konopka. His wrist shot right into Como's belly. He makes the save.
What a great scoring opportunity from our first line, right? I'm sorry, from the Huskies' first line, we had Wolf and Lampman working together right there. A great chance.
Maloney on the draw. They'll win it back to the point to Chris Williams. Williams fans on his wrist shot, intercepted by the Bears. They'll high flip it out in the neutral zone. Baker tried to glove it down, instead picked up by Mizuno. Mizuno backhands it into the corner. Baker gives chase. Chris Williams picks it up. Here's Williams. Williams chips it in. Como steers it away. Williams picks it back up in the corner and goes over to Yang. Yang to Maloney. Maloney left side, a wrist shot into the glove of Como. That was going to go wide, but Como snags out of midair. 13:34 to go here in the second period of the PAC8 championship. The Huskies and the Bears. Huskies looking to defend. Bears looking to win the championship. Huskies trying to go back to back. Off the glass and out. Sloan goes to work in the corner, fights with Storr. Sloan works around, goes up top. Ferguson, his wrist shot goes high and wide.
Nice play by Sloan.
Darren Morris, centering try off the post. It bounces in front, and the Bears are able to clear it back the other way. Here comes Fazio. Fazio moves it ahead. Nash stops it and steers it away over to Anthony Endres. Back up to the point. O'Dowd throws it down low. Another shot goes just wide. Fazio in on the pressure. Picked up by Collins. Collins centering. Storr was there. The Huskies flip it out into the bench of the Bears.
Look out, coaching staff.
Offensive zone draw coming to the right of Jonah Nash.
A Husky knocked it into the bench, so they keep it in the zone.
Huskies come away with it, and Dominic Wolf high flips it ahead. Cam Irwin gives chase. Glove down by Dolim. Dolim and Irwin in the corner. Lee trying to break it out. They do. Moves it ahead to Lou. Lou fights with Irwin. Irwin creates a turnover. Lou still battling. Lou comes away with it. Centering try, and it just goes wide. Sedlak Rowdy had a beautiful opportunity in front. He couldn't collect. Here comes Dominic Wolf back the other way. Wolf works 1-on-2. His shot from the point goes into the corner. Picked up by Lampman. Turnover, Patrick Lou. Flips it up. Sedlak Rowdy chips it in. Huskies get it right back out. Mizuno here. Moves it ahead. Picked up by Musgrave. Musgrave to Maloney. Maloney had a goal to make it 5-3 on the empty net last night in the win over Western Washington. Here's a chance. Lucas front. Maloney shot blocked by Dolim. A beautiful diving save before that one even reaches the net. Takedown right in front of the Cal bench. They look for a penalty. They won't get one. We play on. Juni Ohm. Eom works at the circles. Goes back down low. Still battling with it. On the net side. And they'll blow it. Como has the cover.
He had the cover for about 5 seconds, but the referee was on the other side of the ice and couldn't see. But he should have blown the whistle if he couldn't see.
Well, referees this tournament have been quick for whistles sometimes, right? As goalies have then tried to release, we've got whistles. So wait to be extra sure that the coverage was had there, I would assume.
I think the referees have done a fantastic job.
It's been a great officiating crew.
There's a group of them, I don't know how many, but they get evaluated through the year and they get invited here. It's not just an association. They get invited here based on their ability, and they have done a great job this year.
Yang wins the draw up to Needham at the point. Needham far side. Goes down low with the shot from Peter Konopka. To Needham. Needham, his wrist shot, and a beautiful block by Chabaklo. Chabaklo gonna try to take this one back the other way. He's got Burbank, collision. Chabaklo goes down. Konopka comes away with the puck. Konopka down the right side, at the right circle. Center, Maloney bats it over the net.
Big hit from Derek Yang. Little guy with a big hit.
Shot from the point from Needham, steered away by Como, and we'll get a penalty coming for holding. Lucas Fung pleads his case. However, that will be on deaf ears. Lucas Fung to the box, 2 for holding. The freshman with 18 goals on the year. Huskies will get another look on the power play.
Halfway through the second period, or just almost halfway through.
Maloney thrown out of the face-off dot. Cam Irwin takes it. Battling with it on the half wall. Maloney comes away with it. Spins. Stops. Goes down low for Irwin. Irwin left circle. Works back to the blue line. Over to Wolf. Wolf cross ice. To Lampman. Lampman down low. He's got Eom in the slot. Lampman still skates with it. Looking. Lampman still. And it gets knocked out of the zone. Huskies offsides. Good pressure by Cal. Lampman skating around. They get a stick to knock that puck into the neutral zone just barely. And it'll force the Huskies offsides. 1:29 to go in the power play for Lucas Fung.
It is awfully hard to criticize Ben Lampman. He rarely makes mistakes, but I thought he should have dropped that pass because he had
Cam
Wolf
Irwin
behind him.
Yeah,
And
Irwin and Wolf both. Opportunities for a drop pass. Huskies chip it in. Irwin gets it at the top and goes over to Dominic Wolf right side. Wolf circles right side. Save made by Como. Lampman with a second chance opportunity. Swallowed up by Como as well.
We are at the URC Ice Arena in Cheney, Washington, a beautiful facility. Right behind us, we've got a basketball gym where the guy has a great Seattle Supersonics basketball jersey on.
Williams goes down low to Morris. Back up top for Williams. They play catch to Morris again. Williams, one-timer, and they score! The Huskies with a power play goal extended by 2.
Power play goal.
Jake Ferguson will lead the line. He gets a tip. And the Huskies make the Bears pay on the power play.
Bodies in front and rebounds. That's the only way you're going to beat Como.
Face off, won by the Huskies. Morris chips it in. Anthony Endress picks it up in the corner. He's pressured by Mantuani. So Ferguson from Williams, the official goal call. Williams has it again. It's the linesman going to stop. Now, the other linesman bounced or ducked. It looked like maybe caught him.
Yesterday, we had about a 5-minute break when we had a referee get bloodied by a puck. Hopefully, we don't have any more of that, but anyway.
Cal comes away with a face-off win. Our Huskies will regroup with it in the neutral zone. Collins moves it ahead. Fazio drops up top to the point. Mantuani, his shot's blocked away. Glove down by Collins. Get a whistle, played with a high stick from the Huskies.
Dominic Wolf reaches up with his stick. He hits the puck. Because of that, the faceoff will come to the left of Jonah Nash, and the Huskies can't change players.
Top line for the Bears out there. Sedlak Rowdy. Another look from Lou. It's Rowdy, Mizuno, and Lou, the top offensive pair, with Gobel and O'Dowd. O'Dowd has it roll through his feet. O'Dowd stops. Cam Irwin pressures. O'Dowd breaking out high, flip now. Looking up for Sedlak Rowdy. Sedlak Rowdy trying to drive into the zone. Mizuno there to help as well. Comes loose to Rowdy. Maloney spins and chips it back the other way. Picked up by O'Dowd once more. Moved ahead.
Big
Lou,
hit.
collision at center ice. Lou chips it in. Nash stops it behind the net. 7:44 to go here in the second period. Derek Yang. Cross ice to Morris. Skates for it. Foot race. Chips it in. Junie Yome into the corner. Going to fight with Gobel. Gobel. And we'll get a whistle. Delayed penalty coming. Huskies will go right back on the power play.
Was that a hit from behind?
Indeed, a hit from behind from Dominic Sedlak. Rowdy sends him to the box for 2 minutes. Huskies and Jake Ferguson converted last time on the power play. Just moments ago, they're going to get another look here. Cal with only 3 shots on goal this period. Huskies with 18 in the first, up to a total of 24. Cal with 5, up to a total of 8. Puck comes out of the zone. Here comes a chance for Lucas Fung down the far side. Fung at the circle. Backhand goes wide. Collins in the corner, throws it around. Lee backpedals with it over to Dolan. Huskies and Cam Irwin take it back the other way. It's again. Collins works in his shot. Save made. Jonah Nash. Collins looking short-handed.
Huskies can't take their foot off the gas. They got a power play goal, but so far, 39 seconds into this power play, they have not looked very good. And as a matter of fact, the Bears have had better scoring opportunities than the Huskies.
Bears did have a shorthanded goal when the two teams met up in Seattle. Williams to Yang. Yang one touches it in. Excuse me, that was Heiser who had the shorthanded goal up in Seattle in game 2. They come back for Chris Williams. 55 seconds to go in the power play. Left off for Morris. Morris works across the logo and in on the right side. Morris wrist shot into the glove of Como.
Well, at least they generated a shot there. 6:13 to go in the second period of play. The long change period. 43 seconds to go. And the penalty to Dominic from the Bears. Sedlak Brody. I know his name.
We'll redo the face-off to the left of Como. Maloney in for Lampman. Maloney wins the draw. Back up to the point, Wolf. Wolf's got Eom to his left. He'll use it. Eom, rush shot through traffic. Save made by Como. Might have hit a skate of Maloney. Down to 30 seconds on the power play.
It would have been interesting to see if they would have given Maloney the goal if he would have.
Wolf through traffic and they score. It's redirected once again. Huskies with another power play goal.
as I was saying before the goal went in, Maloney stuck his skate out there, and it would have been interesting to see if they would have given him credit for the goal because he did make a little kicking motion.
Ben Lampman with his second goal. This one coming on a power play, back-to-back power play goals for the Huskies. They've got a 3-goal lead. The Bears are on the ropes. A lot of time left, though. The Huskies had to come back from being down 3 goals yesterday, and they did it. So despite being on the ropes for Cal, anything can still happen. A lot of hockey left to be played.
Officially, it's 2 from 91. So they're giving the goal to Maloney and the assist to Dominic Wolf. That power play looked horrible till right there at the end.
Well, the Huskies get another look on the power play.
Wow.
As the Bears go right back to the box this time, it's Simon Mantuani who will sit for 2 minutes. Who let the dogs out plays in the arena as we go back to action. Irwin to Yom to Wolf. Wolf walks in. Rashad, they score! Beats Como over the shoulder. It's 5-1.
"16 seconds apart. 2 power play goals.
Well, back-to-back power play goals in this period. 2 coming just 16 seconds apart, like Jack says. Huskies are feeling it now. Timeout called.
"91 from 11. Cam Irwin with the assist on the goal from Dominic Wolf.
Cal takes this timeout to reset. What was a 3-goal deficit, now up to 4.
The message in the huddle is stop taking penalties. They've scored 3 power play goals on 3 chances. Stop taking penalties. I don't know why it takes that long to say that, but there you go.
Looking to probably draw some things up too, trying to get in the offensive zone. It's been a relatively calm period for Jonah Nash, only facing 4 shots this period. And the other way, it's been Como who's had to face 10. And he's letting 4. Excuse me, 3. We'll see what Devin Cox and the Bears draw up. They'll win the draw and chip it in.
Icing is the call with 5:32 to go in the second period, and the Huskies lead 5-1.
Ferguson with Endress and Sloan to his right and left. They'll win it back to the point for Duncan Needham. Needham a shot through traffic, deflects into the corner. Jake Ferguson picks it up. Ferguson up top to Konopka. Konopka through traffic, save made by Como. High flipped out by Chabaklo. Into the zone come the Bears. And it squirts right back out. Dolan to Chabaklo. Chabaklo takes it himself. Sidesteps Ferguson. Chabaklo from just inside the blue line with a shot and save made by Jonah Nash.
Very good defensive play made as the Bears exited their defensive zone. Duncan Needham pinched in on Jack Burbank. Burbank was racing down, waiting for a pass, but it never got to Burbank because Duncan Needham interfered with the opportunity.
Kodai Mizuno on the draw for the Bears. He's got Patrick Liu behind him, and then behind him is Trent Taruya. So Sedlak Rowdy will now come in to take it. Heiser throws it around to the far side. Puck kept in by Mizuno. Chips it back down low. Patrick Liu, centering try, looking for Sedlak Browdy, who takes it into the corner. Up top, Taruya goes across. Goes down low, Dolan. Patterson tries to backhand it out. Bounces in. Heiser gloves it down, stays in the offensive zone, and Huskies get it cleared out. Sedlak Browdy moves around Eom. Moves around Heiser, but loses the puck right in front of the Bears bench. Taruya now. Taruya pressured. No call coming. Yang. Backhander to Maloney. Maloney chips it in.
Maloney and Taruya were Velcroed together there for a minute.
Sedlak Browdy throws it into the far side corner. They'll go grab a change. Patrick Liu pressures. Liu. They've got Mizuno sitting in the slot. Puck still loose. Huskies get a clear back out. Mizuno was right there on the doorstep. Comes all the way back down for O'Dowd. O'Dowd to Lee. Lee loses it. Picks it back up. 3:48 to go in the second period of the PAC8 championship game. Lee works in the offensive zone. Over to Collins. Collins cross ice. Looking for Fazio. Fazio into the corner. Comes around for Cam Irwin. Irwin chips it out. Dropped right back down by Ben Lampman. Lampman drives in right circle. Can't get through the skates of O'Dowd. Good defensive pressure there. O'Dowd pulls him down. No call coming. Huskies looking for one. We'll play on 5-on-5. Como sets it up for O'Dowd. Off the boards and up to Collins, who backhands it, and Ferguson picks it up. Fazio gloves it down, however, called for offsides with 2:58 to go here in the second period.
Well, the shots on goal, 29-10. I'd have never dreamed that was going to happen with these two teams playing.
I wouldn't have either. This was expected to be a back and forth, intense, tight battle between these two, and it still could be with a lot of hockey left to be played. However, the Bears are having to search for something here late in the second period. A little momentum, a goal, trying to find some confidence to take into the locker room.
Well, the Bears only need to look to last night at 7 o'clock, where the Huskies started the third period down 3 goals and came back to win. So they can take heart from that.
Chabaklo with a drive right off the faceoff, goes into the netting. We'll get a faceoff from the same location to the left of Jonah Nash.
I love how Jonah Nash does this. He's the center of net, then he moves over right before the drop of the puck.
Back up to the point, kept in. Far side, Burbank. Here comes Yang. He'll throw it in the far side corner. It's a foot race, and the Bears win it.
Icing with 2:24 to go in the second period of play. And the Bears are still trying to figure it out. They're pressing. And they are playing in their offensive zone more the last couple of minutes since the timeout.
Konopka comes away with a face-off draw. Juniome gets it over to Derek Yang. Yang can't control the pass, goes back in. Ridden into the boards by Liu. Liu, Sedlak Browdy comes away with it. Cross ice, no dice. Huskies pick it up. Cleared back out. O'Dowd chases with Yang in pressure. Taruya sets things up with 1:55 to go in the second period. Drop pass O'Dowd. O'Dowd stretch pass looking for Mizuno. Icing waved off. Nash stops it. Duncan Needham. Mizuno pressures. Crashes into Needham in the boards. Puck comes out. 3-on-2 back the other way. Dominic Wolf drops for Konopka. Konopka looks back for Wolf. He couldn't get there. Wolf corrals, goes back to Konopka. Back to Wolf. Wolf is shot from the point. Save made. Cam Irwin couldn't collect on the rebound, and the Bears high flip it out. Patterson rims it around for Lampman. Lampman off the boards, picked up by Patterson, who throws it in. Como comes out of his net, where Wolf tries to play it. However, the Bears will be able to take it back. Pushed ahead. Here comes Baker. Baker with a rush. Behind the net of Nash, he's brought down. Danny Mossgrave clears this one out to Cam Irwin. Cam Irwin with a chance. Drops for Cam Britt. He can't collect. Good defensive pressure there by the Bears. Patterson chips it in. Icing the call.
Well, we've seen Matt Cleaton start putting some of the second, third, and fourth line players out there to try to keep his first and second line fresh, which is a great strategy when you're ahead by 4 goals.
Continue to roll 4 lines, get everyone out there, keep the legs fresh. If you're Cal, it's tough because you want to roll all 4 lines and keep those guys going, but you want to keep your top 2-3 lines out there, especially your top line of Rowdy, Mizuno, and Lou. They're going to play a lot of time here when you're trying them out to come back. Here comes Cam Britt down the far side. Britt comes away with it with 25 seconds to go in the period. Icing waved off.
Ooh, dangerous pass by Darren Morris.
Sloan throws it down in the corner with 4 seconds to go in the period. 3, 2, and 1. Huskies pile on in the second period with 3 power play goals through 40 minutes. The script has changed more in favor of the Huskies. They lead 5-1. 20 minutes up and coming. The Bears going to need to draw something up, Jack.
Well, I got to tell you, the lesson from last night, the Huskies cannot go into a defensive shell. They've got to keep playing aggressive. And the Cal Bears, all they have to do is look back at last night and saw how it was done via the Washington Huskies. They got to come out and they got to establish some early pressure. So there is no way this game is even close to being done.
Well, 12 minutes. We'll step away. Be back with the third period here in the PAC8 Championship. Well, we welcome you back inside the Recreation Center here on the campus of Eastern Washington University for the third and final period of the PAC8 Championship Tournament. Jack Jones, Eric List to take you through the final 20 minutes. Huskies lead 5-1, Jack.
I got to tell you, before we get into the craziness of the last period, and one of these teams will be celebrating at the end, I want to thank Travis Allen, the commissioner of the PAC8, for allowing us to be here and to broadcast this tournament. I want to thank their staff. What a great job they do every year. What an incredible facility. If you ever get a chance to get over here and watch a hockey game at Eastern Washington University, do it. It's a great place. They've done a fantastic job. The referees, all of the staff. We've got a beautiful young lady right here running the camera for us, and their whole staff has been wonderful. And I'd also like to thank all of our Husky Nation. The hockey families have been great. But now we got to drop the puck. I'll talk more later.
Face-off underway. The third and final period. The PAC8 Championship. Cam Irwin breaks it in. His shot goes wide, and that's how we'll start the third period. Huskies with a strong second period. 3 unanswered power play goals. Cal looking to answer back. Here comes a rush in their offensive zone. Chabaklo has it on the near side. Cuts, centers, no one's home. Goes up top to the point. Wrist shot back down low. Picked up behind the net by Burbank. They fight with it. Net comes off its moorings.
Well, I got to tell you, the key to this third period, the Huskies have to play like the score is 0-0. But the Cal Bears have to play like it's the last period of hockey they'll ever get to play. And they've got to have relentless pressure on the Huskies to pull this off.
Well, Jack, you and I talked about it going into the period break. The Huskies were down 3 goals and were able to rally back last night against Western. Can Cal find a way to rally back? They're going to need one here, I imagine, early to try to get some of that momentum back rolling. Wolf on the half wall, fans on it. Spins away, trying to get out. Here's a turnover. His pocket's picked by Sedlak Browdy. Have a nice job to recover. Williams up ahead to Irwin, and they get it out. Dominic Wolf pressures. Back to Sedlak Browdy. Tips it over. Patrick Liu tried to collect. He couldn't, and Wolf will just clear it into the zone. Dolan fights Mizuno. Comes out. Liu hit. Back to Needham. Needham to Maloney. Maloney touches it in. O'Dowd around, but picked up by Eom. O'Dowd over to Lee. Back to O'Dowd. Fazio, cross ice. Fazio gets it back, centers, right in front. Drake and Jonah Nash makes the stop on Chabaklo.
What an opportunity for the Bears.
Bears keep it in the offensive zone. Chabaklo down low. Chabaklo stops, looking for help, trying to center, tries to go up to the point. O'Dowd pinches in to keep it in the zone. Yang, eye flips out. O'Dowd will run it back down.
They called icing. Wow.
I think on a hand.
What's that?
Either icing or the other lines was making a motion for a hand pass.
Really?
He was doing, unless he was just saying they could change, which might have been what he was referencing.
Okay. I did. Well, wait a second. The face-off going down. So I don't know what that was called. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. We're playing hockey.
Lou chips it in, goes around far side. Brownie comes in to help. Huskies just trying to work it back out. Browdy's there. Come away with it. Lou goes down low. Huskies cleared ahead, out of the reach of Anthony Endres. Taruya and Endres give chase, and there's icing. Endres is going to plead his case that he got there, but Taruya beats him.
Got to meet the parents of Anthony Endres during that break. I had not met them. He has a terrific a wonderful, beautiful Japanese heritage, as does, despite his last name being Endress, and as does number 77, Peter Konopka. Both of them have a Japanese heritage.
Shot left, right on the door. Taruya, his shot from the point made it through. Sat on the doorstep. No one could collect. Icing back the call. Another offensive zone draw coming for the Bears. And quite a diverse group for the Huskies, a diverse group for the Bears as well. They've got a lot of California natives. They've got Mark Rand from the Czech Republic. Patrick Liu, all the way from China, from Beijing. Fazio wins the draw. Back to Mizuno, who takes it down low.
The Huskies going to have a long period if they keep icing the puck. They've sent, what? Well, there's going to be the fourth icing call. Oh, they wave it off.
This one waved off. Anthony Endress collects. Endress looking to center. Has it at the circles. Instead, dumps it back down low for Lampman. Lampman picks it up, turns. Up top for Morris. Morris is shot through traffic. It's Patrick Liu. Morris picks it back up again. Morris, wrist shot, glove down. Still stays out. Taruya backhands it into the netting for a whistle.
16:35 to go. And if you're a Husky, you're saying, okay, we've killed off 3 minutes, 25 seconds of the 20. But if you're a Bear, you got to have a little bit of urgency. You got to start chipping away.
Well, the Bears have started the prior two periods with momentum and with speed. The Huskies have quickly nullified it and taken it back the other way. Similar start here in this third period. Cal's had some rushes in the offensive zone. They've got a couple looks on Jonah Nash. What can the Huskies do to answer back? If you're Cal, you got to keep your foot on that gas. Try to keep chugging. Get one and then get two. You're not going to get them all back at once, but you got to start with one. Lee spins away with it now. Goes far side. Cleared up. And Williams throws it right back in. Lee plays it back. Intercepted by Wolf. However, dropped off, and Burbank intercepts. Burbank in the corner. Rims it back around down low. Chipped up and out of the zone. Burbank, cross ice for Storr. Storr chips it in, but offsides the call.
The puck got slowed up at the line, and they were in just a little bit early with 15:55 to go in the third period of play.
Shots on goal, 30-12 in favor of the Huskies.
What's at stake is an opportunity to go play in the Western Regional in Utah. And unfortunately, I don't think either team makes it in an at-large bid, although I would love to see them change that, because these Cal Bears, if they do lose, they are good enough to play in that Western Regional. So hopefully they'll take 2 from the PAC8, but it doesn't seem likely just from my knowledge.
Delayed penalty coming, hooking the call. We'll see who the referees tag, and this might be a power play opportunity for Cal, as it seems like Junie Yoma skates that way. And Logan Maloney will be escorted to the box. Cal going to get a look on their power play. Haven't converted so far, but a big spot here in the power play. Potential for Cal.
That's only the second penalty that the Huskies have taken this game. They played a very clean game.
Been a very disciplined Husky team. Up top from Mizuno. Mizuno goes far side from the circles. A shot goes wide. Picked back up by Liu. Liu back to Mizuno. Mizuno cross. Fazio. Fazio left circle. Mizuno up top in the slot. Goes down low. Tipped. Back to Mizuno.
Overpassing a little bit, if you ask me.
Mizuno. The Fazio. Fazio works in. That shot's deflected into the netting.
Well, they got a quick early shot. Jonah Nash steered it aside. So they're putting a lot of pressure on this power play.
Colton Fazio takes the draw. Wins it back. Mizuno. Mizuno walks the line. Back to Fazio. Fazio to Mizuno. To Fazio. Fazio. Wrist shot through traffic. Blocked by Musgrave.
And he goes for a change, limping just a little bit.
Minute 20 to go in the power play for the Bears. Just a little bit, yes. Fazio once more. Down the left side. Goes back up top for Liu. Liu. Cross ice. Back to Liu. A Liu one-timer. Anthony Endress stops it. Here comes Derek Yang on a breakaway. Derek Yang looking. He shoots. Save made by Como. Back to the corner once more for Yang. Yang wrap around with 50 seconds to go in the power play for the Bears. Huskies chip this one out with Konopka. Back to Needham. Needham sends it down. Lee stops it. Picked up by Fazio. Drops it off for Lee. But has to come back. Far side, Sedlak Browdy. Browdy works in at the circle. Spins. Centering try. And just fans on it. Does Burbank. Huskies get it clear with 22 seconds to go. The Bears are buzzing here late in the power play. Store over to Fazio. Fazio cross to Lee. Lee chips it into the corner. Be picked up by Burbank. Burbank to Sedlak Browdy. Browdy walks in. His shot save made. Jonah Nash. 1 second to go. The power play just about to expire. The penalty box door was open. And then it gets closed.
Very calm. Jonah Nash makes that save and holds on. I want to say hello to a couple people. All right, we're going to drop the puck. I'll do that in a few minutes.
So 1 second to go on the power play. As soon as the puck will be dropped, Maloney will be free. Face off. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Shot from the point. O'Dowd doesn't get all of it. Still stays loose. Goes to the corner. Taruya goes back up top. This comes loose. Here comes Maloney. Fresh out of the box. He's fresh off 2 minutes. But it's recovered by O'Dowd. Huskies slow things down with Chris Williams. Lee in the corner.
Well, the Huskies can't drop into a prevent defense. All that does is prevent you from winning. So they've got to keep playing. The Huskies do. And the Bears have to play with some desperation.
Collins looked to center. That pass was knocked away from the slot to Chabaklo down low. He loses it. Picked up by Maloney, who chips it out quickly. Or gets thrown right back in. Chabaklo picks it back up. He's got Mizuno in the slot. Drops it back down. Mizuno and Maloney battle. Mizuno comes away with it. Mizuno stick handle to Chabaklo. Mizuno drives. Trying to find Chabaklo. Sends just wide. Picked up by Collins. So loose in front. It's still there. And Cal points and it's referee signals it's in. Cal gets a little bit closer. It's 5-2.
Lot of traffic in front.
Kodai Mizuno leads the handshake line. His work with Chabaklo pays off. Jonah Nash slow, still on the ice.
Zach Reddy gets ready on the sideline right there. Casey has to come in for Jonah Nash. Again, I don't understand how 9 no assist is what they've officially ruled.
Might have been picked up off a rebound. Jonah Nash works his way back to his feet, puts the blocker on. Jonah Nash back standing to the ovation of the crowd in attendance.
Coach Phil Higgins, who is a physical trainer, a physical therapist by trade. He's what I call the Husky secret weapon. He is not only a great coach, he is also practically.
So Jonah Nash will make his way to the bench. Zach Reddy comes into play for the Huskies. 12:23 to go here in the third period. Cal cuts the deficit down to 3. They use this time to meet at the bench. So Zach Reddy, the last game he played would have been the first game of this tournament.
And he
which
played
the
well.
Huskies won. He did play well.
Only allowed 1 goal.
So with Zach Reddy in net, we'll drop the puck at center ice. Cal has cut the deficit to 3.
Jonah Nash came out of the game awfully easy. He must be hurt significantly.
First puck touch for Reddy. He steers it away. Huskies chip it out. Dolan chips it right back in. Goes wide. Needham gets it out. Dolan has it at the red line and throws it right back in. Konopka now. Touched by Endress. That'll negate the icing. Into the corner it goes for Sloan. Rims back around. Kicked. Fung working with it. His shot goes just wide. Picked up by Lou. Back up top. Here comes Cam Irwin. Dolan, nice job to knock that one away. Konopka now. Back to Irwin. Irwin, far side, working on the backhand. Drop pass. Intercepted by Mizuno. But Konopka gets it back into the corner. Lampman over to Irwin. Irwin up to Patterson. Patterson goes right back down low. Lampman's there. Lampman hit by Mizuno. It comes out. Cal spins away from it. It's picked up by Dominic Wolf. Wolf batters a Sedlak Rowdy. Lou backhands it out. Patterson collect. Goes over. And Konopka dumps it in with the help of Lampman. Huskies grab a change. So does Cal. Here comes Lee. 10:54 to go here in the third period. Huskies up 5-2. But Cal with the most recent goal to start this period. O'Dowd spins away from Maloney or tries. O'Dowd picks it back up in the corner. Maloney still pressuring. Huskies come away with the puck. Yang. Chabaklo drives right side. Makes a move, but Heiser stands tall. They battle. Heiser and Chabaklo. Chabaklo goes down. Picked up by June Eom. Eom to Yang. Got out of his reach. Here comes Patterson. Shot deflected. Patterson going in for the rebound. O'Dowd picks it up in the corner to Heiser at the point. Heiser pressured by Chabaklo, and that will come back out. Patterson chips it off the glass.
Halfway done with the third period.
Eom bats it in. Mantuani. Cross ice. Picked up by Sloan. They'll backpedal, does Lee. Lee waits for the guys to get a change in front of him before he gets over to Collins. Too hot to handle for Collins. Picked up by Ferguson. He goes over to Captain Darren Morris. Morris up ahead to Sloan. One touch to Anthony Endress. Endress down the left side, working, driving on Como. Save made. Picked up by Sloan backhand. And Como covers it on the ice.
Another great job of coaching by Matt Clayton and his staff. They score. He sends that first line out, and they get the puck in the zone and keep it in there. And then the second line comes in and keeps it down there, reestablishing their dominance. What a great job by the Husky coaching staff.
Wolf plays hacky sack to Lampman. Lampman back to Wolf. Irwin calls for it, said, goes to Morris, goes back all the way to Lampman. Lampman in the corner, spins away, pushes it over to Irwin. Irwin stops, drops it back to Lampman, says, here you go, you can have this one back. Up top for Williams. Williams throws her back down low. Where Lampman gets it once again. Darren Morris calls for it. He's driving it. Lampman tries to find Morris, and they score. Oh, Como makes the save beautifully. Wow, what a save made by the
there were
sophomore
several people that
goaltender.
thought there was a goal there.
Como sees it all the way. Calm, cool, and collected with 8:48 to go. He's keeping his team in this one. Face off, one into the corner for Lee. Lee backhands it, and it comes out. Here comes a rush. Chabaklo gives chase. He can't get there before it's cleared back out. Eom sends it in. where Lee will come and collect. Lee stomps, feels the pressure from Eom, spins away from that. Eom still in tow. Eom uses a stick, however, comes to Chabaklo. Chabaklo, little sauce pass action to Mizuno. Mizuno drives in. He's got O'Dowd walking the net. O'Dowd touched it back to Mizuno. Referee gets in the way. Over to Lee. And chipped back out for Derek Yang. O'Dowd collects with it. He spins around. Over to Sedlak Browdy. 8 minutes to go in the third period. Browdy still skates with it. His pocket's picked. Here comes Derek Yang, who smartly just throws it in. He'll go grab a change.
Yeah, they were needing to get him off the ice, and that was a great opportunity.
Chabaklo over to Sedlak Browdy. Back to Chabaklo. Chabaklo right circle, wrist shot. Nice stop by Duncan Needham to kick it to the corner. Sloan off the boards and out. Taruya throws it back in. Konopka has it. Konopka across the red line, across the blue line. Drives far side to near. Rims it around. Duncan Needham picks it up. Needham throws it back down low where Ferguson is there. Ferguson drops. Centering try. Anthony Andres. Como makes the save. Into the corner. Picked up by Burbank. Burbank high flips it out. And Konopka regroups. 7 minutes to go in the third period. Konopka just dumps it in. Cross ice setup. Here come the Bears. Burbank fans on it. Gives it over to Konopka. His pass just out of the reach of Cam Irwin. Como rims it back around over to Lee. Lee up ahead. Too hot to handle. Comes in. Mizuno misses it.
Hard hit by Duncan Needham on the wall.
Wolf to Lampman. Lampman walks in. He's got Irwin. Save made. Rebound. Irwin goes down into Como. Puck stays out. We play on. Mizuno walks in. Drop pass.
I thought I heard a whistle.
Thought I did too. Either way. To the corner it goes. Mizuno over to Mossgrave. Cam Irwin on the half wall. Clears out all the way to Dominic Wolf, just out of his reach. Jason Lee uses his stick and gets it to O'Dowd. Como rims it around for Fazio. Fazio makes a hit, makes a play, keeps moving. Maloney generates a turnover. Maloney backhands it in. To the half wall now. Eom fighting with it. He's knocked down. Fung rims it around. Comes cross ice Fazio. Fazio left side. Walks by Mossgrave. Centers. No one's there. Huskies recollect. Yang to Mossgrave. Mossgrave's breakout is stopped nicely by Taruya. Taruya leaves off for Fazio. Fazio works left to right. Back to Taruya. Taruya fans on it. Puck still in the offensive zone of the Bears. They go down low. Cross crease. All the way over to Fazio. Back to Mantuani. Another chance. Save made by Zach Reddy. That was on Fung. This one comes all the way out. Zach Reddy looking good after having to come in and replace a Jonah Nash. Sedlak Browdy. Little dump over to Fung. Fung on one time. That's Sedlak. That's Chabaklo. Doesn't get there. Up top. Mantuani. Mantuani picks it up again. Drives. And blocked by Morris. Mizuno now. Over to Chabaklo. Chabaklo centers. Anthony Andres just clears it away with 4:20 to go in the third period.
Smart play. He didn't send it down for icing. He sent it down to kill time. Chris Williams has it now.
Off the half wall. Turnover loose in front. Mizuno and a beautiful glove save from Zach Reddy.
Well, I said it early in the tournament. Last year, Zach Reddy was the MVP of this tournament. He is not a slouch. Jonah Nash has played great this year, but Zach Reddy is battle tested.
Jonah Nash looked really good here early and even late in this third period. Or he goes to the bench after some contact after the second goal for Cal. Here comes Dominic Wolf back the other way to Irwin. Irwin in his skates. Wolf tries to get back to Irwin. Irwin wasn't ready. He still picks it up in the corner. Irwin works with it. Steers clear of trouble and just throws it down low. Here it comes to Chabaklo. Chabaklo works one-on-one against Williams. Chabaklo drives to the slot. Bouncing puck and he scores. Chabaklo drives in. It's 5-3.
What an effort. What an effort by Chabaklo.
Roy Chabaklo does it himself, and with 3:39 to go, the Huskies' lead shrinks to within 2.
Well, I got to tell you, the Huskies have dropped into the prevent defense. They've got to move forward. Otherwise, this could get interesting.
Heiser backhands it up for Maloney. Maloney can't get it out. Comes loose to Lee. Lee skates with it. Still working with it. Comes out. Taruya keeps it in. Taruya's high shot will go into the corner for Heiser. Heiser off the glass, but it does sneak out. Juniome going to get in a foot race with Taruya, but they'll rule it for icing.
Well, while I've got a moment here late in this game, I want to say hello to Mrs. Calloway in Utah. Ben Lampman's grandma. The family calls him Benjamin. Everybody else in the world calls him Ben. But hello to Mrs. Calloway back in Utah. And in Nova Scotia, Cam Irwin's Uncle Ray. Hello, Uncle Ray.
Bears win the draw. They come away with it. Chabaklo trying to toe drag at his pocket, picked by Yang. Yang fights with it on O'Dowd. Yang knocks him to the ice. Up ahead, Mizuno. Mizuno leaves it off for Storr. Storr can't break the zone. Galassia back on side. O'Dowd throws it down. Konopka picks it up. 2:45 to go here in the third period. It's a 2-goal lead for the Huskies. It's shrunk from 4. O'Dowd pressured by Ferguson. Ferguson.
Como was on his way to the bench when they scored, and now he's on his way to the bench. There he goes. Now.
Empty net for Cal with 2:24 to go here in the third period. Chasing a 2-goal deficit. Cal comes away with it. 6th skater on the ice is actually ends up being loose in front. Ruddy makes the save. Another chance opportunity. Still goes down low. Ruddy without a stick. Back up top. Set back Browdy through traffic. Knocked away before it even reaches to Reddy. Over to Lou. Lou on the half wall. Pressured by Anthony Endress.
2 minutes to go.
Browdy. Set back Browdy. And a diving stop into the netting. Jacob Taylor Sloan gets a part of that one.
And Zach Reddy gets his stick back.
Minute 55 to go. Net sits empty for Cal on the other side. 6-on-5. Now, they did use their timeout earlier. So, offensive zone draw to Chabaklo. Chabaklo quickly blocked by a Husky. They clear it out. Cam Irwin races to Mizuno. Mizuno picks up the puck. He stops.
Huskies clearly playing prevent defense. Only Cam Irwin went into the offensive zone.
Reddy comes out of his net to play it. Cross crease, 90 seconds to go here in the first period. Cam Irwin gets a clear. Looking for the empty net. It won't get there. Icing the call.
1:23 to go in the PAC8 championship game. The Huskies lead 5-3. But here come those California Golden Bears.
Colton Fazio on the draw with Chabaklo back behind him. Then with it back to Chabaklo. Chabaklo, his shot goes wide. To the corner, Duncan Needham tries to clear it out. It's held in. Gobel leaves it off. Mizuno goes back down low. Over to Gobel, shot right in the save made by Zach Reddy.
1:06 to go. And they had a skater go off. The Bears had a skater go off. I don't know if he broke his stick or what he did, but he skated back. So it was basically 5-on-5 there for a little bit of time.
Fazio, again, Chabaklo back behind him. Door, Huskies high, flip this out. This won't reach the net. And they'll get another icing with 57 seconds to go in the period. Fazio, Chabaklo. Fazio gets tied up on the draw. He goes down. Chris Williams off the glass. Chabaklo gloves it down. And we'll get a whistle.
It got up into the netting. So they blow the whistle and have a draw. Since it was off of Cal Bear's paw, they'll have the puck drop outside the offensive zone.
Maloney versus Fazio. Fazio wins it back. Mizuno tries to chip it in. Here comes Junio on a breakaway to the empty net, and he scores. That should just about do it. 6-3, the Huskies regain control again. It's a 3-goal lead.
Junio blocks it, picks it up, and deposits it in the empty net. 45 seconds left to go, and that's probably going to close the door on the Cal Bears. Great season. And my heart hurts for number 16, Jack Burbank, one of my guys, one of my favorite hockey players ever, and it's probably his last competitive game unless the ACHA wises up and puts the Cal Bears in the tournament. This is going to be it, and I love that young man. He is going to change the world for the better, but I'm happy for the Huskies as well.
Huskies regain a 3-goal lead. They weather the storm of Cal late. Cal had answered 2 unanswered. Here comes Ferguson down the far side. Ferguson spins back, gets it up to Darren Morris with 30 seconds to go. Huskies just 30 seconds away from going back-to-back here in the PAC8. Down to 25 seconds. And we'll get a whistle. Played with a high stick. 21.7 seconds to go in the third period. 6-3 in favor of the Huskies.
You hope nothing crazy happens, but the referees are being extra careful, staying between the blue jerseys and the white jerseys.
Huskies trying to flip it out, and it gets kicked into the bench by Gobel. It's been a clean and relatively well skated, well contested, few altercations, there we go, between the two clubs. They both have played hard. They've worked hard. And Huskies.
Only 2 penalties on the Huskies the entire game, which is a huge difference to what they've done for a lot of the games this year. And we count them down. 3, 2, 1.
And the Huskies are PAC8 champions once again.
And the celebration is on. The Cal Bears, the first one to Como is Jack Burbank. And now teammates come to console Burbank. Like I say, he played high school hockey for me. He was very, very important to me in my coaching career. And he is an exceptional young man. So we've got Cam Irwin hugging the coaches. Everybody else is down there behind the goal. And let's see if we can find Jonah Nash. Final shots on goal, 37 for the Huskies, 22 for the Bears.
Trophy presentation up and coming as Huskies continue to celebrate their 6-3 victory, and then they go back-to-back as PAC8 champions. A hard-fought effort from the Cal Bears on the other side.
They're waiting for a handshake line, and now Duncan Needham leads the Huskies to the center ice. Zach Reddy will take his rightful place at the front of the line. He calls Jonah Nash. So we got a double goalie in front. And while we got a moment, thank you, special thank you to Addie. She has been an exceptional camera operator. Very nice young lady. And we are so speech therapists, Major, right? There you go. Well, we wish you the best. Travis Allen and his entire staff have been wonderful. And as they shake hands, I want to congratulate Coach Matt Clayton, Coach Phil Higgins, Coach Jordan Fitzgibbons, Coach James Feldman, Coach Paul Reinig, Coach Danny Smith, and Haley Durr. Also, manager Cheyenne Mingo. We never talk much about Cheyenne.
Cheyenne and her entire team. Work very hard behind the scenes.
They do. And the Huskies go by, shake hands of the referees and the commissioner, Travis.
So big thank you, as Jack said, to everyone who helped out this week. Thank you to Travis and allowing us to broadcast all the games here on the Eastern Washington YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone who's watched and listened. We hope you've had as much fun with us this weekend as we've had talking to you. It's been phenomenal. There's been some great hockey, and congratulations to the Washington Huskies on winning the PAC8 championship.
You'll notice the table has a banner, has a trophy, and it has bottles of champagne. So the party is a Jake Ferguson, MVP of the PAC8 tournament.
Congratulations to Jake Ferguson. He gets his picture from Cheyenne Mingo, along with Commissioner Travis Allen.
He sets that trophy down because he wants the big one.
Hands it off to Captain Darren Morris.
And now the NHL Stanley Cup. There we go. They'll all take a turn having their picture taken and skating around with the, I don't know what they call it, Stanley Cup replica, but I don't know what we call it with the PAC8. While the celebration goes on the other end, we have a picture of the leader of the referees and the championship crew. Not only do these guys have to earn their way here, but they have to earn their way to the championship game. And there's Darren Morris skating with the cup. That means the Huskies will be headed to Utah, the location of this year's there's a associate captain Chris Williams. Yeah, we're gonna stay on, and we're gonna have video of this.
Huskies continue, and there's Jonah Nash. Raises the trophy high.
Jonah Nash hands off to Dominic Wolf. Duncan Needham has the cup. I got to tell you, they're being very patient. They learned from last year. That looks like Derek Yang, a freshman, got it early in the process there.
Yang contributed a lot this season, a lot this game. They fought hard.
And he hands it off to his twin, Junior. Anthony Endress, number 18, gets it. Dominic Wolf is having a chat with Dr. Needham's mom.
Cam Irwin celebrates.
Cam Irwin skated right at his mother with the cup. What a great job. Logan Maloney comes back from a year hiatus and wins a championship. There is Zach Reddy. Now we've got a bunch of Husky parents. And I got to tell you, this time last year, I was out on the ice. There's Brando Consolo holding the cup. I was out on the ice celebrating with him because I didn't get the broadcast last year. Taylor Sloan with his lap with the puck. Cam Britt, his family is here. Danny Musgrave is here. And Darren Morris gets it back. Did everybody get a turn? I don't know. We'll see. Did I miss Konopka getting a turn with it? Maybe he didn't want to. I don't know. But we're going to have a picture. There goes. I'm not sure where Cam Irwin went, but anyway. This team has such a great environment. They are such a close, tight-knit team. And they love each other. They give each other a hard time. Brad Needham swings by and says hello. And now, oh, there goes, who is that? Patterson.
David Patterson.
David Patterson didn't get his turn.
Drew Heiser.
Oh. Drew Heiser, another one of my guys. Dylan McConnell. Dylan McConnell takes a lap. Can't see who that is. Oh, Ben Lampman. Ben Lampman didn't. Amon Ali grabs the cup. Let's see. Is there anybody else? And we have guys holding up the banner. Looks like the first line, Dominic Wolf, Ben Lampman, and Cam Irwin. That front line holding up the banner. My memory was there was a lot more splashing of champagne last year. But I think these guys have learned. They seem to be a lot more organized this year than they were last year. Lots of hugs. Jonah Nash seems to be skating okay. Hopefully. And there's Josh Nash, Jonah's dad. That's what he was looking toward and skating toward. The Nash family. I got it. Thank you so much, Addie.
Thank you.
Jonah was hoping mom would come over. Mom and dad would come over, and they are. There they are at the door of the ice. Josh is the captain of his men's league team. And last night, he won team bragging rights because as captain, Patrick Pearson's dad is on the team with him.
Oh, okay.
So Mr. Pearson won bragging rights after the last game, but last night, Nash won it back. And the Nashes are being careful. If you've never walked on an ice rink from someone that doesn't skate, let me tell you, when they first cut the ice and until skaters get on there, it's hard to stand up. But at this point, after there's been a full period, the ice is cut up enough where you can walk pretty easily. So, but it's still slippery. And the Indris family has a great picture right here. Zach Reddy, the cameraman for that. James Feldman, the goalie coach, is hanging in there. Matt Cleaton stands on the outside looking in. That's fairly normal for him. He's a low-key guy. And now it's time to do some fundraising. It's not cheap to fly to go to these regional tournaments. And I gotta say, last year, the University of Washington made contact with Alaska Airlines and helped out greatly with the cost of flights to last year it was in Denver.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll do that again for the hockey team because it is an expensive trip to fly, stay in hotels at the regional. Cam Irwin's excited, but so now it's time to raise some money and get ready to go to Utah. I sincerely hope that Cal gets invited. I don't believe they will because I don't think their ranking is going to go up enough. But the PAC8 deserves 2 teams in that tournament. And we'll see what happens. But I'm not sure. Anyway. Celebration is ongoing. Coach Phil Higgins comes back out of the tunnel. Our friends that are broadcasters for Washington State, they've broken down and they've headed out. But we want to be a part of the celebration, and we want you to see the celebration. So we're going to stay on here for a few more minutes. Captain Darren Morris has been a fantastic captain for this team. And it's great to pay off his captaincy with a PAC8 championship.
He's been a warrior for this team this year. He's fought hard. I mean, he played really hard again in this game. He wears that C with pride.
He does. And what a legacy the Morrises have left here. Brother Aaron was a very good forward. And they had never gotten to play together until Aaron's senior year and Darren's freshman year. And they got to play together. And I believe it was Mom that was telling me the story of first game together. They both got in the penalty box. They were in the penalty box together, just grinning as big as you could in the penalty box. But at any rate, what a legacy the Morrises have left at the University of Washington. And Darren got engaged, I believe, over the Christmas break. So he's already set to get married and start adult life. And what a great way to go out of his college life.
Indeed. No better way. And now just gotta keep playing in the regionals.
Well, if you're a Cal Bear fan, you've got some great guys and some great players. And with Aiden Como and net, You're going to be back challenging for this every year. And I know it's heartbreaking for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. And if you are a Washington Husky fan, we get to watch them play hockey at least another game or two.
Where can people find those streams, Jack?
Well, last year they broadcast on Flow Hockey, and you are going to have to pay for it. They're not going to let us go and broadcast. I wish they would, but they won't. So ACHA has an association with Flow Hockey. So you're going to have to go on Flow Hockey, and it's you're going to have to, I believe, a month subscription is like $30.
Something like that, yeah.
But they do a pretty decent job. And trust me when I say I wish I could go on this ride with them. While I've got a moment, I gotta get personal. I've got to say something personal. My first hero in life is a guy named Louis Atchison. Nobody knew his name. Everybody called him Country Boy. And I found out after our last game Friday that Country Boy died. "83 years old, an exceptional man. So sleep well, Country Boy. You deserve it."
Well, as the celebration continues and slowly wraps up on ice, the players grabbing their gear, ice crews getting everything cleared off. Congratulations to the University of Washington Huskies on their 6-3 win over the Cal Bears. Their next stop could be the Salt Lake Regional, when they'll play on. Pictures continue as players will head back, and there Matt Cleaton checks out the trophy. That looks the first time I've seen him holding it all afternoon here.
There'll be another Washington Husky sticker on there.
There will be.
They have stickers around there like the Stanley Cup. Every championship team, not the players' names like the Stanley Cup, but the team name is going to be on there again. And so we've got several players. Look at Cedric Ho. He's having a picture with the banner, but you can't see that he's in the picture. That will be Caleb Price taking the picture. Beckett Brown holding it, steadying it. Six-3 your final. Huskies beat the Bears. And it was a dominant performance. The Huskies, as they did last year, saved their best for last. And they were undeniable. There is no way they were going to lose this game. And there was a moment in the first period, about a 4-minute time span, where Cal Bears absolutely dominated the skating, and then they scored a goal. And it was like they flipped the switch and woke the Huskies up. And after that, it was almost full game dedication. And look what we got going at center ice. After every game, these guys get a prayer circle going.
Very cool to see.
Always.
Well, Jack,
I think we've done about all we can do.
Thank you, sir. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for everything this year. Thank you to everyone on the Husky coaching staff and Cheyenne, everyone. This has been a lot of fun to broadcast with you.
Well, I would love to say Eric and I will be back again next year, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is the last game I get to broadcast with Eric, because I hope he goes on to bigger and better things. I only want to broadcast for you guys, you Husky fans, and I only want to broadcast so you can see the games. I don't want a job further than this. I just want to broadcast Husky games for the families of the Huskies. However, Eric List is a very talented 22-year-old, and he wants to be a hockey broadcaster for life. And I hope that starts real soon. And I hope if I ever get to broadcast again with him, he just comes and does a guest spot with me, because that's where I want. That's,
Thank you, Jack.
that's what I want.
I hope we can do this again. I really do. I've had a lot of fun with you this year. It's been a lot of fun.
And
been a great
Vicky
ride.
says, good luck, Eric.
Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate it.
And I got a puck headed your way, Vicky.
There you go.
All right. Well, for Eric List, for Matt Clayton, for Cheyenne Mingo, for all of these, for Kat and Darren Morris, for the staff of the PAC8, it has been our pleasure hanging out with you. And we look forward to seeing you next year. In the meantime, way to go, Huskies. Good night. Goodbye. Be safe.